Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a super exciting review to do. It is of an Iron Studios product, and actually it is my first Iron Studios statue. A little while back I did review the Iron Studios Mini-Co Velociraptor. Well, this is my first actual Iron Studios Velociraptor statue, and it is their art scale 1/10th version of the crouching Velociraptor. So looking at the packaging here on the front of the box just again says art scale 1/10 up there in the corner, has a beautiful Jurassic Park logo right here dead center, and then down here crouching Velociraptor with that really nice looking Jurassic Park style backdrop. If we take a look at the top, same deal pretty much, except it's just black but says crouching Velociraptor and Jurassic Park again. Then here on the side we have a fantastic image of the Velociraptor claw, and then down here a very large Iron Studios logo, and then on the back a really nice image of the actual Velociraptor that is encased in the box. And I have been waiting for this to come out for quite a while. However, I only recently pulled the trigger because I had seen quite a few images online of other people that had received theirs, and it just kind of looked a little glossy, a little too glossy for me. But I did see that it was in stock on BigBadToyStore.com, so I really did want to take a chance on at least one of them. So we have this version here to take a look at. It's the only one that was in stock currently. So I grabbed it, and I'm really intrigued to see how it looks in person. So let's go ahead, break it out of the box, and take a look at it right now. So as we get the stuff out, we've got the very nice looking base. I must say that the base itself is definitely beautiful. I really love this fantastic Jurassic Park logo and the coloration and the very nice weathered appearance to it. It looks super cool. And then we have our Velociraptor, and wow, I am absolutely blown away by just how incredible looking this is in person. Honestly, once I actually pulled this out of the box just a second ago and looked at it, I was really impressed because the gloss coat that I had seen online, which made it look like it was just too glossy, does not at all come off that way in person. It actually, looking through the camera, it kind of looks like it is a little bit glossy, but honestly, I really feel like it's like a perfect gloss for the figure, and the paint job looks incredible, the sculpt looks incredible. So without further ado, let's get a closer look at it right now. So taking a look at the head sculpt of the Velociraptor, it is absolutely jam-packed with incredible detail, and I must say that the overall head sculpt honestly looks exactly like the Jurassic Park Velociraptor as far as I can recall. I really think they nailed the sculpt of this. Not just the head sculpt, the entire body is sculpted perfectly in position for the scene that it is replicating, where the Velociraptors are in the kitchen and the spoon falls down and then the raptor kind of creeps around the corner and then takes a nice little lick of the spoon trying to figure out what it is exactly. I really think that the entire positioning of the raptor just looks exactly like it does in the film, tongue and all. You can see as far as the paintwork goes on the face, there are a few different variations. You've got like that darker brown up here and then a lighter brown for the underside, although certain areas of the underside on the lower jaw do have like a darker brown kind of creeping through. And then the actual eye area, the eye socket, is really nicely defined with an even darker brown or like a blackish coloration. The eye is painted with perfection, really nicely glossed. You can see that eye shine very realistically as I turn it. I think honestly, the only thing that could have potentially been better was the eye in general, because the eye is painted perfectly, I will say that. However, on the actual Velociraptor in the movie, there's a little bit more detail in the eye than what you see here. They could have definitely improved it just a little bit by the details in the eye. However, I personally don't really think it takes away from the figure much at all, and the coloration of the eye, the green they've used, is honestly picture perfect for the green that was on the eyes of the Velociraptor in the film. You can see the nostrils sculpted out up there. The overall skull shape, again, is perfect as far as the Jurassic Park Velociraptors go. You can see the teeth inside the mouth there sculpted out really quite nicely and really nicely painted. They honestly look to be painted perfectly, and the mouth is just barely open, so it's really cool to be able to see the teeth inside like that. It looks really nice. The tongue as well is very nicely sculpted, and again looks just like the tongue did in this exact moment in the film. It's really nicely painted as well. Really cool that they've replicated this so well. It would have actually looked a little better had they included a nice gloss coat for the inside of the mouth, like on the teeth and the tongue, kind of like how Rebor and Nanmu do. I think that would have made it look a little more realistic. However, I still think it looks really good regardless. Moving back here into the neck, you can see lots of wrinkling, lots of creasing, and it's also really nicely painted. Kind of has like a light brown wash that's included, and you can see it within the cracks and crevices of the neck. And you can also see different tones of brown and black sort of creeping through, like a black striping, and it looks extremely realistic as far as skin tone goes. You've got some nice hanging skin here in the throat, and the detailing of the skin texture in the throat and even up here on the body looks extremely nice. Lots of wrinkles again. The closer we get to the shoulder blade, as you lead up here, you can take note to the shoulder blade, and just in general, the entire movement that is currently occurring on the Velociraptor is just incredibly well sculpted out and shown throughout the sculpt of the figure. Moving down into the arm, again, the color tones of the body look so realistic the whole way through. You can see many variations of color of like darker and lighter browns, and even that black creeping throughout the arm sculpt. Coming down into the hands, the nails are painted really nicely with a blackish coloration. The hands are sculpted again to perfection. Really nicely painted as well. Coming back up here into the body, you've got a nice light coloration in the stomach region of the Velociraptor, along with again some incredible skin texture. You even have some like very small osteoderms here and there on the animal. And then coming along the spinal column, you can take note to the spinal column of the Velociraptor, and the curve is really nice looking considering the positioning of the raptor. Look at how beautiful the curvatures of the spinal column are being displayed. That looks really cool. You can see the hip bone as well back here, and then coming down into the body, just in general right here, all in this area, you can really see just the skin playing off of the movement of that leg. That looks extremely realistic, and again, very nicely done. Lots of really nice skin detail as you move down the thigh, extremely nice musculature, and you can really see kind of the muscles tensing for the positioning of the leg. That looks really nice. You've got the kneecap there on the front of the leg. As you move down further, you have a really nice calf muscle, and then coming down into the actual foot, that is a beautifully sculpted Velociraptor from Jurassic Park style foot sculpt. Absolutely fantastic. That really nice scoot-like appearance that runs down the feet and then down into the toes, along with that extremely nice nail paint down here. The beautiful sickle claw up in the air looks really good. You've also got the dew claw, which you can see over here, and actually on this foot if we take a look from behind. The tones of color used on this are also exactly as I recall on the Velociraptors in the film. Moving back here into the tail, you can see the skin stretching off of the tail really nicely. Again, the skin texture looks great as we lead out the body here out into the tail. You've got some more osteoderms here and there, and we lead out the entire tail all the way out here to the really nice tip, and you can see kind of like a striping here and there, and again some more really nice realistic color tones as far as the coloration goes, not to mention just how incredibly well painted this is. You can see the transition between the lighter and darker colors is so smooth, so realistic. Then if we take a look at the opposing side of the head, again the eyes are really nicely painted as far as the placement goes, and that beautiful gloss coat that is included. I think this is like the only real downside to this figure, honestly, is this area right here with the lower jaw. You can actually really see the seam right there where the jaw was connected, and you don't really see that so much over here. It's not near as noticeable, but if we look at it from over here, you can really see it. So I don't know if they're all like that or if that's limited to just mine, but I don't think it's anything that takes away from the figure too much. However, it's just very shocking to me because if we look at the rest of the body, I don't really see seams anywhere. They've done a great job of hiding the seams. It almost looks seamless. However, right there, that seam is definitely really present. But again, the sculpting of the detailing here on the face is fantastic. As we lead back into the neck, you can again really see just the really nice curves in the neck, and just showing how incredible that skin detail is and how it would be moving when it comes to the positioning of the neck. It looks honestly breathtaking as we go through the entire neck area, and the paintwork again looks great. Leading back up here into the body, once again lots of really nice detailing in the arm, lots of beautiful skin texture and fantastic paintwork. You can also see the musculature just in general in the arm area of the Velociraptor, kind of flexing the muscles here right in that general vicinity due to the arm coming up. You can really see that nicely portrayed right there. The hands look great. Really nicely painted nails. There's honestly no sloppiness on this as far as the paint at all. Really beautiful light coloration there for the stomach region, and then you can see again how smooth that transition is between colors. This thing is just painted to perfection. I am very impressed with the paintwork on this raptor. The skin texture, again in the stomach region, looks really, really good. Even down here onto the bottom, the detailing of the Velociraptor from the underside looks great. Nice skin wrinkling and skin folding going on here, kind of again showing the movement of the leg and how it would be causing the skin to react in the stomach region. Really nice muscle tone here in the thigh and calf area. Lots of really nice skin texture and detailing as we lead down into the foot, and that foot sculpt again is just absolutely gorgeous. I am very, very impressed with the sculpt work on top of the paintwork of this figure. And then we lead out again into the tail. The tail looks great as we lead out the very long tail to the tip out here. Really nice paintwork again throughout the entire tail with that kind of striping, and the skin texture looks fantastic. So this Velociraptor is just absolutely off the charts beautiful. And then the base again sports a really beautiful Jurassic Park logo there. Fantastically painted. Again, no sloppiness at all to the paint anywhere, and there's all these really nice kind of cracks and stuff throughout the base itself, and it looks very weathered, kind of gives you the feeling that Jurassic Park has crumbled and the dinosaurs are loose, and that's really cool the way they've kind of portrayed that through the sculpt of the base itself. And again, I really think that the base is fantastic for sure. And then if we take a look at the back, again, Jurassic Park, Crouching Velociraptor, Art Scale, Iron Studios. So really nice, very high quality base. Very nice, very high quality Velociraptor as well. So let's get it on the base and take a look at the entire thing put together. So by now, I'm certain you've probably taken note to the pegs here on the underside of the feet. So of course, we're going to have to find the holes here on the base and then slide the pegs into those holes for our Velociraptor to stand. And there we go, we've got them inside the hole, slides into the base really nicely, and now the entire presentation is complete, and honestly, it is amazing looking in person. As far as the size goes, if we go from the snout, actually we'll go from the tongue very carefully because I don't want to damage it. So from the tongue to the tail here, we are looking at about 12.5 inches or around 32 centimeters, somewhere in that vicinity. And then for a height, the highest point would be the tail here, just under 6 inches or about 15 centimeters. And then if we go to the top of the back, somewhere around 4 3/4 inches or around 12 centimeters, something like that. It's a little tough to tell further away, but I did want to measure it from the ground and not the base. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, Robert Muldoon, and the Attack Pack Colovosaurus. Robert Muldoon appears to be sucking up to that Velociraptor quite heavily due to the fact that this could have been one of the ones that killed him in Jurassic Park, so I don't blame you one bit. But next to these figures, hopefully you'll have a good idea that although this is one of the smaller Iron Studios figures, it really is quite large. Actually, I was quite impressed with the overall size. I didn't expect it to be quite as large as it is, honestly, but I am really happy with it. Overall, I think the size is honestly perfect for a Jurassic Park Velociraptor figure. So this Iron Studios Jurassic Park Crouching Velociraptor is incredible. I am super happy with this purchase, and now that I have this one, I absolutely have to buy the other two. I really don't think that my collection would be complete without them. Seeing just how incredible looking this is in person, I am just beyond blown away by it. If you aren't familiar with the Jurassic Park Iron Studios figures, there was actually an entire diorama including this and one of the other Velociraptors that are included in the 1/10 scale line that did also include Tim in the kitchen kind of hiding, with this exact scene occurring right before Lex distracts the Velociraptors. So you would have this one that was down licking the spoon and the other Velociraptor that swung its head back to take a look at Lex when she was getting their attention to lure them away from Tim. So that exact scene is really wonderfully created by Iron Studios in a diorama. However, that is unfortunately sold out everywhere I've seen, so I don't think I could get a hold of that one, but I really don't feel the need to, because honestly, I think the Velociraptors alone in these standalone releases on the bases are more than beautiful, and honestly, I think these are just breathtaking in person, way better than I expected it to be. I expected it to be decent, but I don't really know that I expected the paintwork to be as good as it is. I kind of expected the paintwork to be a little bit lazier and not something I would be super sold on, just because more often than not, especially if we look at Chronicle Collectibles, whenever you get a statue that looks really, really good in the prototype images, most of the time they don't show up looking quite as good as they did initially in those prototype images, and I've kind of been led to feel that way. So I feel like most times when I'm going to get a statue, I kind of have my expectations really low because I've purchased so many statues in the past that turned out to not be as nice as the prototypes, so I kind of have lower expectations anymore when it comes to a statue or something like this. However, this Velociraptor itself has completely exceeded my expectations by a mile. The sculpt of the Velociraptor is beautiful, not just displaying the really nice, very fine detailing of the figure, because trust me, it is all there and there in full force, but the sculpt in general appearing like it does in the actual scene of the movie, in the exact moment that this Velociraptor was crouched down licking the spoon, I feel like it is picture perfect as far as the sculpt goes. They 1000% nailed it to look exactly as it did at that moment in the film. So kudos to Iron Studio as far as accuracy goes. They really, really nailed it here with this Velociraptor. The paintwork again looks fantastic, pretty much exactly as I recall the Velociraptors in the film looking, with really nice darker and lighter tones of brown and like khaki colors in the stomach region and everything, along with the very nice dark black kind of like striping here and there on the body. Honestly, it looks perfect in person and extremely lifelike and realistic. Looking at the Velociraptor here just sitting in front of me, it almost looks like it's alive and it's just going to jump up and attack me, which would be a very big problem because I would never finish this review and you would never see how beautiful this is. So make sure you stay there, Velociraptor, at least until after this review is over. But again, the base is really nicely done as well, with beautiful cracks and that very nice weathered appearance, and along with that fantastic, very nostalgic Jurassic Park logo right there dead center. The entire presentation and overall appearance of this set, completed, put together, is just off the charts beautiful, and the type of thing that if you are a Jurassic Park fan, trust me, you would never in a billion years regret picking this up. It is that awesome. So if you do want to buy this, I will include a link in the description for you to purchase this on BigBadToyStore.com. So make sure you head down to the link, pick up this incredible Iron Studios Crouching Jurassic Park Velociraptor. But before you do that, make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.